Here, head coach Rick Cabrera, Northwestern State at home 2 times this weekend in Southland Conference play. UIW on Saturday, HCU on Monday. And coach, I think one thing we noticed Monday night, there is a definite home court advantage and a definite comfort factor for your team in its home arena.
Yeah, obviously we played McNeese last game, but it was good to be back home. We haven't seen that much, too much of that, in the first semester. But we're excited. We had one of our best practices yesterday. The energy was there. Like our guys are desperate. But we always preach, man, just focus on doing right things. Don't worry about winning; it'll take care of itself.
So there was a lot of pop in the building yesterday.
Absolutely. One of the best practices we've had.
How much did, speaking of Monday night and the fans in the stands, it went head up with the national championship game, which is never going to be easy to draw a crowd, but Northwestern fans turned out. You had a really good atmosphere in here. How much did that help the team?
Very impressive. I'll be honest, because of the rain and the football game, I was going into this thinking that it would be maybe 40 to 50 people here. But they did show out, and that helps. I'm trying to get them to be a little bit louder, but I appreciate the bodies being there, and our guys played well, not well enough, but they played well. At least it's something to build on for the next one.
Yeah, so you will have that, and the challenge is if you play well on a Saturday in this league, you only have 48 hours or less than 48 hours before you turn around and play again. The challenge when you play a Monday is you're not going to play again until Saturday. How do you maintain, and it sounds like it's through practice, and you had a good one yesterday. Hopefully you'll have a good one today and a good one Friday and so on and so forth.
Yeah, this is new for me because in all of my Division I career, as an assistant, it was always a Thursday, Saturday. So mentally, our day off is Tuesday, which is not really a day off for anyone, because I can't sit at home and just not do anything. So you come in the office, you give the guys their day off, and Wednesday is probably going to be the hardest practice. Thursday we'll still go pretty hard, but not as hard as Wednesday. And then on Friday, we kind of tone it down so we can focus on the game for Saturday. So you got to have a balance in conference play, only because the dates and it's consistent dates. So you have to have something that the guys are used to throughout the week.
Well, consistently, starting with Saturday, at least this weekend, it's not consistent. You get a mix of teams, UIW, in terms of guys that are sitting directly across from you in that coaching chair. Shane Ehrman, they're at UIW, much like you, first year as a Division I coach, head coach, and then you've got Ron Cottrell coming in at HCU, and he's been there, I think, since they built the school. So it's a little bit different. When you take on a first-year program, what are some of the challenges, even maybe 15, 16 games into the season you face?
Yeah, no, it's just understanding to help these young men to understand how hard you got to play for 40 minutes. We don't have a lot of Division I guys. That we have a few, but we don't have a lot. And you got to play hard. You got to be the team to make the least mistakes. Veteran teams can make mistakes, but they're veteran and talented enough to overcome those. So that's been the challenge with this team. Just paying attention to detail. They've gotten a lot better at that. For a while it was a struggle just because we just have so many new guys. They want to be the guy. They came from a place where they were the guy. But it's not going to be like that here, and it's team basketball first. So, but we're getting there. We got 16 games to go plus conference tournament, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Do you think the way that the game played out Monday night, even though it was not the result you wanted, kind of maybe reinforced the fact, like you said last week, that more so to the guys, it reinforced the fact that on any given night in this league, anyone can beat anyone?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. Just because our offense wasn't very good, but we played hard, and our defense was good. That's a team that is shooting almost 50% from the field. I think we held them to 39, 40% for the game. And that's solely because of how hard we played on the defensive end of the floor. If you do that, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but it can guarantee that it'll give you a chance to be in a game. I've coached a lot of games as an assistant where you go 1 for 18 as a team, and you win the game because you make more free throws than the other team. and you make more two-pointers. So that was a game that showed some promise. I told the guys in film, we showed them every clip, and I hate to say this, and I've given Will Wade the credit he deserves. He's a heck of a coach with some great players, but we lost that game. It was a lot of unforced turnovers, and if you could have those back, I think it's a different outcome.
When you look at UIW, what do you see, and the same thing for HCU?
I see a very balanced ball club, pretty similar to us. Shane has done a great job, just having new guys and bringing new guys in, and you're implementing a transfer. When the rule came in, just like we are with Anthony Thomas, they compete. They got a good balance of guards and bigs, but they're a team that's very similar to us. I think we should win every home game we play. But Shane has done a good job, being a first-year coach in this generation of, walking in the door and and your roster's blank is never easy. Never. This is my first experience as it, and I'm sure it is for him. And, he's building, stacking the bricks every day just like we are.
HCU, kind of the opposite. Like we said, Ron Cottrell's been there for years and years and years. It doesn't change maybe the roster building, but it doesn't change the fact that he's there and he's been there, and you kind of have a lot more of a book on a guy like that. Yeah, no, Ron is I'm sure when he is done there, they're going to name the court or the gym after him. He's a heck of a nice guy. I got a chance to know him in the Southland meetings, but his team is very balanced, man. Believe it or not, I don't look at their record. They were in some really close games. The Nichols game that they just recently played, it went to overtime. They were up 3 with probably 3 seconds to go, and Nichols got hits a 3. They lost, I think, by 2 to UTSA and a couple points to FIU. So they were in a lot of games. They have some really big guys at the 4 and 5, some pretty good guards. So like I always said, these conference games are going to be dog fights, and nothing comes easy. But when you play at home, you should win it on percentages. Of just the home team winning more games than the road team. But it's going to be a dogfight. I expect a dogfight. You mentioned the big guys at HCU. You got a big guy back a couple of games ago in J.C. Riley, and I know you're familiar with him, probably more so than most, having coached him at Tallahassee and now here. That young man's got to be about as mentally tough as anybody, because didn't play for you last year on the court because of an injury. Starts the season here, a couple of games, he's injured again. His mental toughness, especially when you talk about a freshman or a second-year college guy, has got to be off the charts. Yeah, I lay down every night and feel terrible for the kid. I feel good for him now because he's getting there, but he's still a little banged up. I brought him here knowing he didn't play for me, but he was able to practice, and I saw something in him. I saw his talent, his size. You don't find a lot of guys with that size at this level. But he's a gifted young man, and bigs develop a little different. They take time. But the goal right now is just to keep him healthy. So I got to be smart in practice and so he can be healthy for games, because he, is an impactful guy. We struggled rebounding prior to him, coming on the court, and that's one thing he does well. He pursues the ball. He gets it. He's very skilled on the block. He's very skilled around the rim. So we're excited to have him back. We just want to keep him healthy because he can help us win some basketball games. Yeah, 4 offensive rebounds the other night, and a McNeese team that typically gets after the boards. You were dead even with them in rebounding, and you mentioned it before, the games before that, it really hurt to not have him at Tulane and at ULM and against some of those bigger front courts. Yeah, well, one thing we changed, not sure if you noticed, we went big now. So not having JC, I had to have DP at the 4. I like to play with 2 bigs. The 4-man could be a little bit more perimeter oriented, but it allows Dwayne Posey to rebound more. It allows Justin to rebound more. Trying to get Jamel along, because he's an athletic, wiry guy. He's got to be a little bit more physical. But playing with 2 bigs has helped us rebound, at a pretty high clip. And I was very impressed that we were even with them. Coach, as always, thanks for your time. No problem, brother.